everybody, welcome and hello to everybody. This is the Dusra show, Digital 2 Sports, a joint venture of Channel 2 Group and One Digital Entertainment. We are presenting to you ball by ball commentary of West Indies tour of India. Today is the first one-day international of this three-match one-day series being played at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad. I've got with me my two colleagues, Ritik Sen from Dubai. Ritik, hope you're well.
I'm very well, thank you. Good to meet up with you guys. Should be a promising series. Looking forward to this.
Yes, and the third part of this commentary team is our regular and close friend, Mr. Nishad Pai Vaidya. We three of us have a common link, and that link, Nishad, is Dubai.
Absolutely, and it's so great to be here, and particularly welcoming Ritik to the show, because we've obviously seen him on our preview shows on Digital 2 Sports. So it's really great to have him here and a part of the discussion. So Ritik, a warm welcome from me as well. And looking forward to chatting cricket with you. And Dubai isn't just the link between the three of us. Cricket is the link between the three of us. And cricket is a link that takes us to all the subscribers of Digital 2 Sports. And we only want this community to keep growing.
Absolutely right, Nishad. And like we keep saying, we are on all platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. You guys just need to like, share and subscribe, especially this YouTube channel. Like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to press the notification bell. Okay, quickly, heading into the match now, guys. The first one-day international, India has won the toss and they've chosen to field. And the two teams are out. India has given first ODI cap to Deepak Hooda, but surprisingly there's no Deepak Chahar, who created such a wave in the last one-day international in South Africa. On the other hand, we've got interesting mix for West Indies, who lost a one-day series to Ireland before coming to India, but they played a hard-fought T20 international series and came here. So first thoughts, Ritik, on the two teams?
I think the teams are interestingly poised in the sense India obviously is fairly strong on paper because it's a team which has had few changes, but the core has remained more or less the same over a certain period of time. So that's helped. In West Indies' case, it's a team which is going through a phase of transition, right? There are new players being tried out. There are players who've been successful in past, even the newer ones. And of course, you have some established names there as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this younger team then tries to get into the challenge of facing India at home. And the fact that it's going through a transition phase, this happens with every team anyway, right? So West Indies currently is in that cycle. And I'm pretty sure that over a period of time, they'll come out stronger from it. But currently, I think this series should be an interesting one. Let's not write them off by any means, because this team can spring a few surprises.
Nishad, looking at the Indian side, obviously COVID-19 has had an effect on the makeup of the side. What do you make of the new pick, Deepak Hooda, and the fact that someone like a Deepak Chahar, who did so well in the last one day in South Africa, almost won the game for India, and both of us were on the live broadcast for that. What do you make of the Indian side that's been picked for this first one day?
I think it's a little interesting. Now, first I'll talk about Deepak Hooda, exciting talent. We know what he's capable of. Chandresh, you will remember 2014 Under-19 World Cup. We were in the UAE and he was playing for India in that World Cup. Showed a lot of promise as an all-rounder. But I think it's as a batter that he's actually made his name, even in the IPL. His bowling hasn't been as much used as we thought it would be when we saw him at the Under-19 level. So as a batter, particularly in the middle, he's someone who can add power. So that's something that India would be hoping for, someone who would add power in the middle order. And I think that is one of the picks that India have gone for. And they've also got someone like a Surya Kumar Yadav. So that formula that Chandresh, you and I keep talking about, that you need a bit of power in the middle, I think that's why Deepak Hooda has been given a go here. And then, of course, for me, another interesting selection is Washington Sundar. I'm a big fan of Washington Sundar, honestly, because I have seen him right from the days where he used to play for the Albert Tutti Patriots in the Tamil Nadu Premier League. And I was fortunate to see him through those years. And he used to open the batting there. Exciting batter as well. We talk a lot about his bowling because he does well in the power play. But trust me, he can contribute with the bat. And we've seen that in the Gabba Test. And it's just a matter of time before he converts that into one-day cricket. So you've got a good package there as well. Talking about Deepak Chair, I'm a little surprised, as you are, that he has not been selected for this game. But I think the Indian think tank wants to try various other combinations. They also want to see if Siraj has improved his white ball game. Of course, he has RCB, which is why RCB have retained him. But now is the time. If he's improved and he's well and truly ready, then give him a go right now. Because if he can perform, then for 2023, he could be crucial.
Bilkul, it's all about the fact that you're looking at the 2023 World Cup, the 50-over format World Cup, which is going to be played here in India. You could well be seeing the final of that 50-over World Cup right here at this particular stadium, the Narendra Modi Stadium, the world's biggest cricket stadium, which has been built in the recent years. And it's going to be an interesting battle. I think the fact that this series is not really part of the World Cup Super League means that it doesn't count towards qualification for the 50-over World Cup, but it's an interesting opportunity, like Nishad said, for trying out a few players. And you also mentioned about the fact that the West Indies have made a few changes and they're trying out a few players. Kemar Roach is back in the one-day side. Darren Bravo has been given another run. So they are trying to do a bit of mix and match and see how things work out for them in the one-day format. Because truth be told, the one-day format, unlike the T20 format, is not right now their strongest suit.
Yes, absolutely. It's not their strongest suit. And for them, this is a great opportunity, considering the fact that the 2023 World Cup is going to be played in India. And when you come and tour India and you play in these conditions, on these pitches, it's a perfect time to try out stuff, right? There is a fair amount of time before the World Cup comes around. This is probably your best time to sort of try out combinations, try out newer players, see who put up their hands and step up to the mark. And then the nucleus can be formed going forward for that World Cup spot. The same thing applies to India as well. The fact that we are going to try out players, we have the IPL coming up, there will be new names that will come up from there as well, and not just to be considered for T20, but for the 50-over longer format as well. So the fact that these sort of series are happening now is actually a great boost, because India after this are not going to be playing too many ODI series. So the fact that you have few chances or few opportunities to try out players and see where they stand at that international level is going to be crucial. Like Nishad was mentioning, somebody like a Washington Sundar, somebody like a Siraj, they need to step up to the plate and say, you know, guys, you've given us this chance. It's time for us to show what we are capable of and stake that claim in that future team, in that future World Cup team.
Good that you mentioned the fact that India is not playing too much of one-day cricket. But Nishad, today is a big day, and you're a stat guy. You are a numbers guy. Today is the 1,000th one-day international that India is going to be playing. There was a time when India used to play about 40-45 one-day internationals in a year. Last year, India played just 6. And of that, the main players played just 3. So we've come a long way in the format, but today is a landmark day in that sense.
Landmark day, 1,000th ODI at the biggest cricket venue in the world. So yes, one that they would remember, one that Indian cricket can mark as well. And what better occasion than to play against the West Indies, because historically the ties between the two cricketing countries has been very good. And I say cricketing country because obviously West Indies is a group of island nations. But so those ties have been very good, and always we've seen that the tie-up between those two get even stronger. India West Indies has always been special, particularly for me. And also, I'd like to say that today it's also a somber occasion because India have lost Lata Mangeshkar, and a true icon of independent India, who symbolized, I would say, India's growth and its talent and its artistry in the post-independence era. We've lost her today. She lived a long life, left her legacy. And from what I'm hearing is that the Indian team will pay their respects to her as well, and be wearing black armbands, which is a very good way to commemorate her memory. Because as you may remember that in '83, when India won the World Cup and the BCCI wanted to generate more funds for the winners, she had performed at a concert, and she has always been an ardent supporter of the Indian cricket team. So it's a good way to pay respects as well. Momentous occasion, somber at the same time, but also a tribute to someone who has symbolized modern post-independence India.
Absolutely right, dead right there, Nishad. Her links with cricket is very strong, and she's been an ardent cricket supporter. And we all miss her today. It's a huge loss, like Nishad said. But it's so life is so strange. Last night, India was celebrating the victory in the Under-19 World Cup. India beating England in a hard-fought finale, and then today, this morning, we got to hear about the death of Bharat Ratna Lata Mangeshkar. So it's a huge loss for India as a nation, and for cricket as well, because she was a very big supporter of this form of this sport. So India becomes the first country to play 1,000 one-day internationals, and that's a big thing because it tells you how big this format is in India, Ritik, that it's grown. In the initial 5-6 years, India did not really embrace the format, but once it did, it just really took off.
Absolutely, and it took off in a grand way, especially after the 1983 World Cup. I think that was a momentous occasion, as we all know, in Indian cricket. The fact that Kapil's Devils went and against all odds won at Lord's in 1983, right, 25th June. Nobody is going to forget that date for those who ardently follow the game. And then straight after that, just to prove a point that it wasn't a fluke, in 1985, India went under Sunil Gavaskar to the World Championship of Cricket in Australia and won that as well, where Ravi Shastri was champions of champions, if you remember. So since then, and then 87, the Reliance World Cup was brought in for the first time, a World Cup outside England into India. And then the game has just gone from strength to strength. One of the key elements and takeouts from that is evident in how the under-19 boys won yesterday, won last night, right? To lose a wicket chasing a total in a final, even if it's 190 runs, it's still scoreboard pressure for youngsters, under-19 boys. They lose a wicket very, very early on, but they showed their mettle, they showed their caliber, they showed the temperament that they needed. They've won every single match in this tournament and gone on to win an unprecedented 5th title. It speaks hugely, not only of the under-19 team, but what India is actually doing right in terms of this entire build-up, this build-up of players and all coming into the main frame. And a lot of this credit goes to the current India senior team coach, Rahul Dravid, who was involved with India A and the junior cricket team for years. And he has obviously molded them and set the framework so well that we are now seeing the benefits of it come to the fore.
Absolutely right, Ritik. One final question to the two of you. Who do you back here? Nishad first.
Me, I have the sneaky feeling I'll back the West Indies.
Okay.
I just feel West Indies will somehow manage a win. I don't know why.
Let's see. Ritik, who are you going with?
Let's put it this way. I would want India to win, or rather, I feel India can win given their strength on paper. But I'd like West Indies to win this first match because then that sets up the series really, really well.
That's called a diplomatic reply, if ever there was one. So, in my case, I would back India because I think India is a bit too good for West Indies in this format. But let's see, the game starts in about 5 minutes' time, 1:30 p.m. India time. We start our ball-by-ball commentary of this first one-day international. We'll see you then. Till then, goodbye.
Thank you.